Caesar, a general and a dictator. Julius Caesar was a giant of Roman history. Everyone knew him. He was a brilliant general. His victories in Gaul made Rome even bigger. People loved him. He was also a powerful politician. He became dictator for life in 44 BC. This gave him total control over Rome. Some Romans welcomed Caesar's leadership. They were tired of the old ways. The Republic was crumbling. They believed a strong leader was needed. Others were worried. They feared Caesar was becoming too powerful. They thought he wanted to be king. Rome had gotten rid of kings centuries before. Caesar's ambition made some Romans uneasy. They saw his reforms as a grab for power. His growing popularity fueled their fears. Was he becoming too powerful for a republic? The stage was set for conflict. Caesar's power was great, but his ambition created enemies. These enemies would change the course of Roman history. The bond of Caesar and Brutus. Among those close to Caesar was Marcus Junius Brutus. Brutus came from a noble Roman family. He was a respected politician in his own right. Caesar and Brutus had a complicated relationship. Some even considered them friends. Caesar trusted Brutus. He gave him important positions. Brutus admired Caesar's abilities. He saw Caesar's leadership qualities, but Brutus was also a staunch defender of the Republic. He believed in the old ways. He feared what Caesar's ambition might do to Rome. This internal conflict tore at Brutus. Brutus found himself caught in a web of conflicting loyalties. On one hand, he valued his friendship with Caesar. He recognized Caesar's achievements for Rome. On the other, his love for the Republic burned strong. He couldn't stand by as Caesar's ambition chipped away at Roman tradition. Brutus's internal struggle mirrored the turmoil within Rome. Could ambition and republican values coexist, or was Caesar's rise a threat to their way of life? Seeds of conspiracy. The Senate's fears. Whispers of discontent grew louder in the Roman Senate. Senators, the guardians of the Republic, feared Caesar's growing power. They saw his actions as a march toward kingship, a title anathema to Roman ideals. The senators believed Caesar was destroying the Republic. They feared for their own power. They also worried about Rome's future. They saw Caesar's growing power as a threat to their freedom. A group of senators began to plot against Caesar. The conspirators saw themselves as saviors of Rome. They believed that removing Caesar was the only way to save the Republic. They needed to act quickly and decisively. The air crackled with tension. The senators, once Caesar's allies, now plotted in hushed tones. They saw Caesar's death as the only path to preserve their beloved Republic. The Ides of March. Betrayal and its aftermath. The Ides of March, March 15th on the Roman calendar, dawned like any other day. Unaware of the plot against him, Caesar entered the Senate chamber. He was met by the conspirators, daggers hidden beneath their togas. Among them stood Brutus, his face a mask of conflict. As the senators surrounded Caesar, Brutus too raised his dagger. The blow from one he supposedly called friend seemed to wound Caesar the most. Caesar uttered his famous last words, "Et tu, Brute." You too, Brutus. The assassination sent shockwaves through Rome. The conspirators had hoped Caesar's death would restore the Republic. Instead, it plunged Rome into chaos. Civil war erupted as Caesar's supporters, led by Mark Antony and Octavian, battled for control. The Republic Caesar had undermined was no more. In its place rose the Roman Empire, ruled by emperors. The irony was palpable, the very thing the assassins sought to prevent. The end of the Republic was brought about by their actions.